So, no, remind me later. So we've loaded our data. I just want to do a quick intro again. Before data sets, we loaded it one by one, and I did a general introduction of the data sets. So for the branch data, we have the branch, the longitude and latitude of the branch, then the manager of each branch. So the next thing is the daily target. That is, for each day, the target they must match for each day. Then the next thing is for the sales data. That is, this is the date, the branches, the pepperoni feast, sorry, the type of pizza that was sold, then the price for the pizza, the quantity that was bought, the time it was bought, and the time range. So they wanted to know if people were buying before 9 o'clock or after 9 o'clock. So and we have the sales target. The sales target is showing the type of pizza and the target that must be made for those pizza. The type of pizza and the target that must be made for those pizzas. So now, one thing is for me to have any project with these four data, they are related, right?
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
So what it means is that the four data set we have, we don't need to transform anything, right? They're
Yes,
already
no, no, they
transformed.
are clean. They are clean. They are clean. I want to, the main purpose of this is just for modeling. So I don't want to do any cleaning. You already know how to clean, right? So that cleaning won't take much of our time. So I want to just go into modeling. So this is the modeling tab. And immediately we go to the modeling tab. Can you see the four data? Sorry, the four data sets are already here. So this is the type of, let me delete it. So we'll be creating a relationship between them. So I've deleted it. These are the four. So we need to create a relationship. But before we do that, we know that these data sets they must be connected before we can use them interchangeably. They must be connected. That's the first thing we must know. That this data set must be connected. And before I do that again, is there any form of no, let me just continue with my modeling. Don't worry. Let me continue with my modeling. So now they must be connected. And the way we connect them says a lot. Because they must be connected the right way. They must be connected the right way. And for you to be able to know that okay, this connection is right or wrong, you must understand your data very well. So that's the first thing. You must understand your data. You must be able to say, okay, yes, this connection is right. And there are majorly two factors that will define your connection. So we'll be doing those things now. Let's go back to our connector. Sorry, our modeling tab. Let me have the sales data here. So now you can decide to move it anyhow. So I just want to arrange it. Do this arrangement. Now this column 9 and column 10. I think the column there are, let me see, for sales data. They are empty column. They are not needed. This is something I can delete from here. Yes, let me delete it. It's not needed. Let me delete column 10. So I've deleted that too. So let's have this. Okay. So now let me come back in. So it's not showing here again. So now the connection must be in such a way that this thing they are connected together. So now look at this branch data and the branch data here. The branch here and the branch here. The branch here and the branch here. Are they the same? Are they talking about the same branches? The branch in my sales data. Let me go back to my sales data. The branch in my sales data, they are how many? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bagada, Ibadan, Ikoyi, Lekki, and Surulere. Good. On my branch data set, it's still the same Ibadan, Ikoyi, Lekki, Bagada, and Surulere. So these are the same set of branches that are inside my sales data. So I can connect this one and the sales data using the branch column. Manager is not on the sales data set. There is no manager here. There is no longitude and latitude here. The only thing that is connecting them is that branch. So I'll come here, then I will drop this branch here. I'll move it and I'll drop it on this one. So what I'm doing is that I'm telling this that the connection between this particular table and this table is the branch. Because by the time I click on this, can you see the two highlighted things there are the what? Are the branch column. Because the branch there is the connector between the two. There are cases where you will see multiple things in both tables. That maybe there is date here and there is date here. You will be the judge of that. That what is the best connector for this particular what? For this particular project that I'm doing. And the date here and the date here might not even be relating. So you must make sure that whatever you are using to connect both of them, they are relating to each other. So the branch I'm using here and the branch in the branch data here and the sales data here, they are the same thing. That is the reason why I'm connecting them together. Now there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I have. I have star here. This star that I have here, it has a meaning. I have one here. This one that I have here, it has a meaning. I have one arrow going up. It's meaning that the arrow is going from the branch data to the sales data. It has a meaning. So what is the meaning of that? Those things that I just said. So if I want to see the meaning of this relationship, I'll click on this relationship, this line. I just click on it twice. So it will open up the relationship box. So I can edit my relationship. So now, if you look at it now, this is my sales data, the first table, and this is my branch data. Can you see the branch column and the branch column here are the two things that are highlighted. They are the two things that are highlighted here, the branch column here and the branch column here. Now, we have different types of, there's something we call cardinality and cross direction. Cardinality and cross direction. And that is where we have a lot of talkings to do. So now, what is cardinality? We have different types of cardinality. We have many to one. We have many to one. We have one to one. We have one to many. And we have many to many. We have many to one. We have one to many. We have one to one. And we have many to many. So now, you remember that day that I was telling you about unique and distinct. So now, let's go back to our data set. We are coming back here. Let's go back to our data set. On this particular data set, all these branches, they are how many? They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are 5. So I'll say I have 5 distinct branches, but none of them is unique because none of them is occurring once. But on the branch data, I have 5 distinct values and 5 unique values because Ibadan is appearing how many times here? Once. Ikoyi is appearing how many times here? Once. Lekki is appearing how many times here? Once. Dagada, same thing. Surulere, same thing. So on the branch data, these branches they are appearing what? Once. But on the sales data, the branches are appearing more than once. They are appearing more than once because someone can go to Lekki multiple times to buy something on the sales data. But on the branch data, is appearing once. The branch is just to show us the manager that is there. That is, who is the manager heading Ibadan? Who is the manager heading Ikoyi? That is what that one is showing us. So now, because on the branch data, the branch is appearing once, and it's appearing more than once here. That is why I have one here. And this term means what? Many. That is, those branches they are appearing many times on this particular what? Data set. That's why I have what? One to many. So if the one to many and many to one, they are the same thing. It just depends on the way you want to put it. If I'm coming from here now, this is many to one. If I'm coming from here, it is what? One to many. What I just said, I don't understand. Please speak up. Let me know before I move forward.
What you just said, I don't understand.
Okay. Is it the only one that does not understand?
Please come again, reinforce it again so that
Okay,
we get it
okay,
clearly.
okay. So now, um, who was the first person that said he doesn't understand? Is that Mr. Samuel?
Maybe.
Okay, Mr. Timebi, please unmute your mic. So I want to ask you some questions. So now,
Okay.
look at this. The branches here, they are appearing how many times? Once, right?
5.
They are
Once,
appearing.
okay.
Ibadan is appearing once
Yes.
now. Ikulu is appearing once, right? So I can say they are
Yes.
unique. Those branches, they are unique,
Yes.
yes. So if I come to the
Yeah.
sales data, the branches here, are they unique?
No.
They are appearing
They
more
are
than
appearing
one.
more.
So now, if I want to create a connection between them, for my branch, they are appearing once. That is why I have one here because they are appearing
Okay.
once. But on the sales data, they are appearing more than once. And star means what? Many. That is, they are appearing many times.
Okay.
Do you understand? That is why the relationship is what? One to many.
1 to many.
Do you understand? So now, one to many and many to one is the same thing. It just depends on the way you want to what direct it. So now, if I'm coming from this point, I will say because star is what many, I will say many to one. But if I'm
Yes.
coming from this point, I will say what one to what many.
Many.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So now, let's
Yes.
assume a situation where the branches in this sales data are appearing once too. Let's assume they are appearing once too, and they are appearing once here too. What will be the relationship? One to
1
one.
to 1.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, or better still, let's assume the branches here they are appearing more than once in this particular data too. If they are appearing more than once, it's not going to be what many to what.
Many.
So those are the four types of
Many
what
to many.
cardinality. So that those are the four types of cardinality I'm talking about. So I have many to one, I have one to one, I have one to many, and I have what many to many. Do you understand now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Um. So please, who does not still understand? I can come back again. Oh.
It's clear. You can go ahead.
I can go ahead. Thank you. So now look at this. Let me go back to my data set. Let me sort this according to the. Let me sort ascending. So this is Thursday, 3rd of December 2015. These are the sales for Thursday, 3rd of December 2015. Before they enter fourth, this is the one for fourth. Then fifth. So now the days are occurring more than once here on the sales data. But if I go to the daily targets, they are occurring once here. So now if I want to create my relationship, what's going to be the relationship between these two? Here on my let me go back. On my sales data, they call it date. On my daily targets data, they call it day. So if I want to create a relationship between them, what will be the thing I will drag on each other?
Day to date.
Date to date. Thank you. So I'll bring this date and I'll drop it on date. Now it has automatically detected that it is what? A one to many relationship. It has automatically detected that it is what? A one to many relationship. So there's cases where it would detect a wrong thing. You'll be the one.
Sorry, please, can you come back again? I didn't get
Okay,
that. You moved something down there, right? I didn't quite understand.
let me delete it. I moved, the relationship between the two, the point of connection between these two now is the day and the date because they are the same thing, right? So
Yes.
I moved this date and I dropped it on the day here.
Okay.
So it will create that relationship. It has
Okay.
automatically detected that it is what? A many to one relationship, or better still,
Oh,
a
I
one
get
to
it now.
many relationship. Now, what I want to explain now is that there are cases where it will detect something that is wrong. So what do? You open up the relationship and you go and select the one that is the right answer. Do you understand? You select the one that you really want. But majority of the time, it will automatically detect that okay, since I have one here and I have many there. For the sales targets, let's go to the sales target. Let's see what is there.
Hello,
For the,
hello.
yes, sir.
I don't know the scenario. I'm just trying to think of the scenario where you said it will show you the wrong connection now. What
Yes.
kind of scenario can we
I
find?
don't, I don't, you know, is a, I don't know how I'm going to put it. Automatically, when you load your data, it will assume relationship for you.
So how do you know that it's wrong or right now? That's
You
what
have
I'm
to
thinking.
click. If I click on this now, I can see that
Mm.
the relationship between these two now. Can you see the two things that are there? They are highlighted, right? Day
Okay.
and date. Let's assume that it has selected target and price. I will know that what you selected is wrong. Then I have to create it again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Do you understand? So immediately you load data sets, more than one data set, and you come to your modeling tab, you will see relationship. It would have created a relationship. Sometimes it is correct, sometimes it is wrong. It's not left for you to see what it has created, observe what it has created, and see if it is correct. If it is correct, you don't need to change anything. If it is not correct, then you need to change. Then you need to what? You need to
But
change.
most times it's correct.
Yes, sometimes it is correct. I will not say most times. Sometimes it is correct.
Okay.
So now, the next thing I want to do is to create a relationship between. I think someone wants to join the class. Okay, nobody's there. So nobody's asking that why am I not connecting this one and this one?
We are listening to the explanation, whether you get there.
Okay, now is there any form of connection between this data and this data?
There's no
No, not really.
connection. No
Not
connection.
really.
No, there is no connection. Thank you. There is no connection. Someone wants to join this class. The reason why I'm not joining is because there is no connection. Now, the way I've connected it now, this one and this one now, they are now connected, right? Because they have something in common. This daily target and sales branch data, they have something in common already. Now, let's now assume that they still have something in common. You don't now combine them again. No, there's already a form of connection between them. I will come again with what I just said. Now, the reason why I'm not connecting these two, I'm coming, hold on. The reason why I'm not connecting these two is because there is no what? There's no form of connection between the two. Now, let's assume that there's a form of connection. And I've already done this. Will I connect it again? No, because I've already created a connection with this. Because whatever is passing through this will come like this, and it can still come like this. Do you understand? Now let's assume that I want to drop this, I want to drop it on target. Now, if you look at this, if you look at the type of relationship it's created, I don't know if you can see it. The relationship between this and this now, because it is not possible, it is a dotted line. That dotted line, it is not as straight as this one. It is a dotted line. This line is a dotted line. It is dotted because it is not even active. It is wrong. So what will I do? Let me remove it. I'm deleting it. I don't need it. So let me connect this. Let me connect this. So now to connect this, what am I going to use to connect this? The sales data and the sales target. Let's go back to our data. Sales data. I have pizza sold. Sales target. I have the different types of pizzas. So the pizza here and the pizza sold in my sales data, they are related. So I can come here. the pizza sold here and the pizza here, they are related. So it will create that connection, one to many, which is correct. One to many. Now I'll come back
Sorry,
and explain.
sorry, please come back on how you connected it again.
I just
To
just bring one of them and drop it here, and drop it on the pizza.
okay, so
Okay. Now, if you notice something, I've explained. I said two entities will define your connection. I've explained cardinality. I've not explained the cross filter direction. I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to that. Now, this is what we call a star schema. A star schema in such a way that this is what we call a star schema modeling, because everything is connected to one entity, right? It looks like a star. There are some cases where it will be this one and this one that will be connected, and this one will be connected to this one. It's not like everything will be connected to one central thing, but because this is like a star, so there are cases where it's not like everything must be connected to a particular thing. In this case, we call this one that is connected to everything a fact table. We'll be talking about that later. So, um, I'm not going to talk about that cross filtered thing now. Look at this. This cross filter direction. I'm not talking about it now. We'll come back now. We'll come back for that. Let me go back to my visualization. So now, look at my sales data. My sales data does not have the manager, right? It does not have the manager. But look at this. I open up my sales data and I click on the branch. Can you see the branch? It brought out. Can you see the branch it brought out? Please, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying
You need to
to.
highlight it. It's small.
Can you see it now?
Okay. Yes, you
But
can.
my sales data does not have the manager. What if I want to see the manager of each branch? But my sales target, sorry, my branch data has the manager. My branch data has the manager of each branch. I can come here now and select the manager of each branch. Can you see I'm selecting from two different tables and it's working because I've connected them. I'll do that again. Someone wants to join the class. Mr. Michael, what's the problem, sir?
Yeah, the way it is set up, can we pick from the target and branch? Because we have only one direct arrow, one cardinality. I don't know if that's possible. That's what I'm asking.
So can we pick from the targets? We have two
From
targets,
the
the
target
target
table,
and the branch
sales
table.
target table and the branch table. You know they are both connected to the sales, but they are not connected to each other. Can we still run from one to the other?
Yes, because the connection is coming like this. Assume a connection that is coming like this and still goes like this. There's still a form of connection between this one and this one because this is the connection between them, right? So the connection between this and this is the pizza, right? Once I come here, when this connection once I have this connection between these two tables, then I can now take the branch from this and connect with this. You see connecting. Have I answered the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now look at this branch data. From my branch data, that is this branch data, I can pick the branch and I'll pick the manager from the same data set, which is what we have been doing before. I'll pick the branch and I'll pick the data set. But now let's assume that I'm not picking the branch from the branch data set. I'm going to pick the branch from the sales data set. I pick the branch from the sales data set and I pick the manager from the branch data set. I'm picking it from two. If I've picked, let's assume that I've not connected them. Let me even remove the connection between them. Let me remove the connection between them. Let me delete it. And let's go back to our visualization and let's save it to be there. I've deleted it.
So since you've connected it, you can access all data from everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now I've deleted it. Can you see it's not showing anything again? Because you are picking from two data sets and there's no connection between them. That is the reason why it is not what? It is not showing. But if I go back and create that connection, I created the connection. Once I go back to my visualization, it will show back. Because now there is what? There is a connection. There is a connection between them. So now you see what I'm talking about. Now look at another thing. Let's delete this. So now, let me go to my branch data. I want to pick the branch and the manager. Yes. And I want to pick the price. Can you see I'm picking from different table and it's showing me, it's giving me answers. So you know what I want to do. I'm coming. Now I'm picking these two tables. These two columns, I picked it from the same data set. I picked it from the sales data set. These two. So now what I want to do is I want to have another table. Another one. Here I want to have the manager. Only the manager. So now look at something. So if I click on, now it said on Power BI, our visualizations too are sliders. So look at Anoluwako Ogidon. I picked it from another data set. This is a data set. I picked this two from a data set. And I picked this one too from another data set. So now, look at something. If I click on Anoluwako Ogidon, because normally Anoluwako is the manager. Anoluwako is the manager for, where is it? Anoluwako is the manager for Ikoyi. So if I click on Anoluwako, only Ikoyi will show. It's serving as the slicer, right? If I click on Ario, only Lekki will show because Ario is the what manager for Lekki, right? It's working. So what if I click on Gagada? If I click on Ikoyi now, Ikoyi, what it should do if I click on Ikoyi is that it's supposed to show me only the manager that is for Ikoyi, right? Just the way it is doing for this one. If I click on Lanre Ajagbe, Surulere. What if I don't click on Lanre Ajayi and I click on Surulere here? If I click on Surulere here, it's supposed to show only Lanre Ajayi here. Sorry, Lanre Ajagbe here, right? That is one thing it's supposed to do. It's supposed to click on, it's supposed to show me only Lanre Ajayi. But it's not doing that. Why? Why is it not doing that? If I click on, I need you to understand what I'm saying now. If I click on Nkem Omazi, Gbagada is showing because Nkem Omazi is the manager for what? Gbagada. Let me unclick. But if I click on Gbagada, it's supposed to be showing only Nkem Omazi. Since I'm clicking on Gbagada, and it is only what Nkem Omazi that is what the manager for Gbagada here. Why is that not happening? Let's go back to our relationship. Because on our relationship, it is telling me that I can only what? Filter from, you see the arrow. The arrow is pointing towards sales data. I can filter from what? The branch data to the sales data. But I can't filter from the sales data to the branch data because the arrow is pointing towards the sales data. So if I want the relationship to be both ways, if I click on this particular relationship, no, it is single. Single means it is going one way. I can change it to what? Both. If I change it to both, you see this arrow changing to two. It is now it's going both ways. So if I go back to my visualization and I click on Ario Tokwe, it's going to show Lekki. So let me unclick and I click on Lekki. Once I click on Lekki, only Ario Tokwe is showing. I think I've explained that. Did you get that?
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes, we do.
Can you see this thing is interesting?
Very interesting.
But one thing is, if you are not getting this thing, if you are not getting it, or you have missed out the relationship, you've spoiled maybe while you are doing your modeling, you modeled in the wrong way. Obviously, you'll be getting a wrong answer. So you must have modeled the correct way to get the correct answer. It is the way you model your answer will look like. So you must have modeled in a very good way. I know some
So it's
people that
advisable to, when you're modeling, you do both ways.
there are some cases where now, thank you for that question. Majority of the time I do both ways. But there are some cases where you want, while they are doing their filtering, you don't want them to filter to this direction. You want them to be able to only filter from this direction. You know there are cases like that. You don't want them to be able to what? Filter from this direction. You want them to be able to do it from this direction. Do you know it is possible?
Still thinking on it.
Yes, it is possible. It is possible. That what you want is that there are cases where you don't want anybody to tamper with anything. So the only thing they can do is to come here and click on whatever they need. But they can't come here and filter this one. This box, I don't want anybody to touch this box. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to touch this point. So what I would do is that I will make my connection in such a way that my filtering can only go from here to here. It can't come from here to this point.
I got you.
Single. We do single.
Ehen. So in that case, you use single. But in a case where you want the relationship to be both ways, you use double. You use double in that case. So, any question before I move forward?
It's clear.
It's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I think I can go back. It is still this same data set we'll be using tomorrow for our project. Because tomorrow is our project for Power BI. So it is still the same data set we'll be using to create our visual, our everything. So after this, you will now do a project. Now I believe now you can now do a project. So I'll tell us about the project tomorrow, how you will go about it tomorrow. Mr. Michael, just unmute your mic and say and ask your question, sir.
Sorry, maybe I missed it, but uh-oh. But I don't know if we've discussed how to submit assignments and projects on Power BI.
And that's I said before by the end of this class I will show you that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And moving forward, that's the way we'll be submitting our assignments. So um with your GitHub, you're submitting an assignment through our GitHub. So once you drop the link with your GitHub, you can actually have access to your files without your computer. So you can actually have access to it. So far you remember your login details, you can just use anybody's system to access your files. So majority of your instead of having it on your local computer, that's like an outside storage in the cloud for you to use.
So anybody can have access to it if I want to share with anybody.
Yes, you can have anybody can have access to it if you want to share with anybody. So you just drop the link to them. You just drop the link to that repository. So even if you want to share with your friends or anything, you can just share with them. So majority of my projects, all of my projects, I'll just say okay, majority of my projects, I have them on my GitHub. So it's just like a portfolio. So I have it on my GitHub where in case I'm not even with my system and you want to see one of my projects, I'll just okay, give me your phone. I'll just go to my GitHub, I'll show you. Or maybe your system or anywhere. So you can have access to it. It's like a file manager that is inside the cloud. So
You can send it to your LinkedIn too.
yes, you can share the link on your LinkedIn and everywhere. So let's continue. Let's continue. So no question for now, right? If your name is here, you'll be paying IG and double money. Oh. It's not easy for someone's name to be on the data set. Oh. So you'll be paying us double money.
They
Please
even owe
think.
me pizza.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we should even do like that. The whole all of us pizza. The whole all of us pizza. So by tomorrow we
After
will know.
working for free.
So you owe us pizza. So maybe we'll just tell you the type of pizza you get for us. Mr. Nolua, maybe you get us pepperoni. We'll do that. Tomorrow, by the time we see the insight and we see maybe your branch is not selling one particular pizza very well, we just give you the punishment. That pizza that your branch is not selling very well, you have to give us that pizza. So by tomorrow, we'll know whose branch is doing well tomorrow. We assume
I
that
think
Mr.
there's one.
We assume that Mr. Bernard is the owner of the company and he has employed these people. So he wants to know those that are doing well, the managers that are doing well. So you wanted to say something, sir? Is it Mr. Anthony? Someone wanted to say something.
No, no, it's not me.
No, it's me. I said
Good
there are
evening.
two parts to
I
the.
came late.
I said there are two parts to the modeling.
Yes, yes, yes.
Are you through with it too? Okay, I
Yes,
didn't say you have.
I've explained it.
Yes, you have. You have. You have. You have. Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, okay, okay. And there are some cases where your data set are not even connected in any way. That doesn't mean you have to find a way to connect them because they are not connected. You are working with two different data. Maybe you just want to do a comparison between the two. That doesn't mean you must connect them. I've done something like that before. I've had a project like that before. They are not in connection. The first data was, I think, was in the 90s, and second data was in the 21st century. So they just wanted to compare what was happening in the 90s to the 21st century. So there was no form of comparison. There was no form of connection between the two. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is on DAX. Just like Excel functions. Just like Excel functions. So DAX is something like that. So I know I've taught you guys some of the things, but I just want to refresh our memory. How many DAX functions do we have? I don't even know. There are plenty. There are plenty. How many will I teach you? I'll teach you the basics because I can't teach you everything. Just like the same way I can't teach you everything in Excel. But if you notice something, when I told you to go and find a way to generate your percentage, I believe you all did it. That's just the same way the whole thing will be. Because there are some DAX expressions that you will not even come across it until you need them. Same as some Excel functions. It's until you need them, you will now say, you now go and make your research and be like, okay, this is the function I will use. So there is no way that will tell you that I want to cover all the DAX functions. It's not possible. If I say that, I'm lying. I don't even know all of them. It's not everything I've seen. But the basic ones we need to know. That's what we'll be touching. So now, before we go, there's something missing on this data. Who can tell us? Something is missing. Oh yeah, now I know you know. Quickly, verify.
Revenue.
Thank you. Revenue. Revenue. Because we have the price, that is the unit price, and we have the quantity. So we need to generate the revenue. So let's quickly go to, let's see, can we do it from here? So what's the name of the, let's do it from here. You can do it from here. What's the name of our new column? Let's call it revenue, which is equal to, so I'll say price, that is the price here, times quantity, yes. And I click on enter. And it has done it. 2,000 times 3 is what? 6,000. You know, I didn't go to Power Query before I did that.
Can this also be done by creating a measure?
Yes, I just created a measure. This is a measure. But in this case, no, this is not a measure. This is a new column. Can I do this with creating? I want to see it per row. So I'll create a column. If you notice, measure is not something that is happening for each row. Measure is like a summary. Percentage of males, percentage of females. Can I can I populate the percentage of males and females in this particular scenario?
No.
Do you understand now? Have I answered your question, sir?
Yes, you have.
Okay. So there are cases where you want to create a new column, and there are scenarios where you want to create measures. So now another thing is, I've done this. Then I want to start creating measures. So just like we did last time, I love creating. You can create your measures within your table. I can click on this now and say new measure. That new measure now, it will be what? It will be placed inside this daily target, because that's where I look at it here. This is it here. But that is not what I want to do. What I want to do now is, I want to create a folder, something like this, where I will keep all my measures. So I'll click on enter data. What do I want to call that folder? I want to call it measures. You can decide to call it anything you want. And I'll click on load. So it is a way of, it gives my work arrangement. So it's not like, once I know that I'm looking for a measure, I can easily come to measures. I will see it here. So if I've created a measure under branch data, and I've created some measures under sales data, if I now need the measure, I'll have to start clicking everything one by one and start looking for it. Do you understand? But if I've created everything in a particular folder, I'll just know that I'm going to this particular folder to look for my measure. So now, the next thing I want to talk about, the first measure I want to create. I've created I can delete this. So now, the first thing I want to do is, I want to create a measure that will show me. Let me go to my sales data. I want to know the total revenue. the total revenue. So what do I do? If it was in Excel, what would I do? I will sum everything together, right? So here, that's the same thing I would do. A new measure called total revenue. How do I do that? Use the sum function. What am I summing together? The revenue column. Just type rev to come out revenue. You close the brackets. Enter. It has done that. It has created its total revenue. If you want to see it, you can decide to bring out the card and just click on the total revenue. Can you see it? 47 million. If you are not satisfied with the way it's showing it, if you want to put maybe a currency, look at the currency here. Have you seen currency? If I put currency, if I click on currency, have you seen it? The currency is working. If I don't want millions, if I don't want to show, I want it to write it in the normal context. I'll come here, I call out value here, and I'll click on none. This is it here. But if you want it in millions, because this is like 47 million, you can just put millions. This is millions. If I want it in thousands, this is it in thousands. So if I don't want anything, this is it. So I've created the sum of what? The revenue. Same way for maybe getting the sum of what? The total quantity. Because some people might want to need maybe the total quantity that was sold for the whole 12 period, for the whole 12 days. Now, there are scenarios where you want to count the rows, or you want to do the distinct count, or you want to do the count. What will happen? Now, in this case, if I want to know the number of orders that came, what do you think I should do? Nobody's saying anything.
Can't you run a count of the serial number?
Count
The
of
count
rows.
or count of serial number. If I count this serial number, not like I'm just saying, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I do the count of serial number, it's still going to give me the same thing. So far, none of this serial number is missing. Assume this place is missing now. By the time it's counting, everything is 5,000 rows. By the time it's counting, this one is missing. So not count it. So everything that will come out will be 4,999. There, we started what? Having issues. So before you can say you want to use what? This is why I'm asking this question. Before you can say you want to use what? Count of the serial number, you must make sure that that particular column does not have any empty value.
What about count of rows?
Now, count of rows. So far, none of those rows are empty. If I say rows are empty, look at it. No row is empty. That is, everything here will be empty. And I don't think there's a situation like that. Because if you have any situation like that, even if you open the branch here, you see a place that they will say empty. That is for empty cells. But then there's nothing like that. So if I use count rows to work. So now what do I want to get? I want to get number of orders. Number of orders. What do I do? It's not going to be count rows. Can you see I'm not selecting a column? I'm counting the rows of a table. Of which table am I counting? The sales data. This sales data is the table I want to count the rows.
Okay,
Sales,
like you did when you wanted to get the participants, right?
yes. I'm not counting for column now. I'm counting for what? A table. Because it is a table that will count the rows. Right? I hope you are getting this. I want to do something else again. Let's go back to our data set. Here, I want to get the number of branches that we have. Normally, we know that we have 5 branches, right? But I want to know. Let's assume that I don't know. Let's assume that we don't know. But I want to get the number of unique branches that you have. And everything should be what? Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So how do I do that? Number of branches. So I'll come here, new measure. Number of branches. Which is equals to, now I will do a distinct count. Distinct count. Can you see? Distinct count of what? Distinct count of the branch column. That branch. Look at it. Now look at it. It's counting for the branch data here. I want to count the what? For the sales data. The branch column of the sales data. Please be careful. You have to be careful with that. So now let's go back to our visualization and put a card. Let's put a card. Number of branches 5. Can you see this thing is working? Our number of branches is what? 5. Simple.
Please, I want to ask a question.
Okay, what's the question, man?
Okay, what you mean is counting for, if you're counting for branches and you're looking for, okay, like you said, how many branches do we have? And you have
Yes.
repetitive
It's going to count the
words.
distinct
You have
rows.
to choose the distinct.
Yes, yes, distinct. If I use ordinary count, it's going
How
to
do you
count
I know
the
you
whole thing. Even if it is repeating itself, it's going to count it.
count it. So we have to remember if we're trying to just check, okay, how many, like maybe if we're checking for customers and we know that there are customers that bought twice, we'll just do
Thank
distinct
you.
count, right?
Thank you. This is where I'm going. That is exactly where I'm going. Because now, for your projects now, I'm talking about when you start having jobs. And maybe they give you, the data might not have, the data might just be one data set. And they want to know the number of customers they have. And they are giving you like 100 million transactions. Some customers have made transactions. It's like now, I've bought, let's assume, okay, MTN now. I bought call card 4 times today. So obviously in their database, my user ID or my name must have appeared 4 times in their transaction list. Now, if they want to count the number of customers that they have, if they are doing count and not distinct count, it means it will count me 4 times. But if they are doing distinct count, it will still count me as one person, no matter the number of times I'm making transactions. And that's what we need. So if I want to count the number of pizzas, that is the type of pizza that they have, the type of pizzas, the number of the type of pizza that they have, I'll be using a distinct count. The reason why I'm explaining this like this is that I don't want it to be like I'm peculiar about this particular data set. I'm talking about when you are outside of this place, this particular environment, and you want to get something sorted. I don't know if you're getting me. So that is another what? That is another um Hey, good. Please hold on. That is another DAX function. Another one I want to show you now. I'm not showing you count again because you already know the meaning of count. Count is just like distance count, just that it's not going to be counting. If you are repeating yourself, it's going to repeat it for you. And there are scenarios where you want to do that. You want it to repeat. So in that case, you'll be using count. Another one I want to talk about is your percentage divide function. How do we use our divide function? Now, let's assume that this is how we came about divide function, about using the percentage. Let's assume that we have five males and five females in the class. Total of 10 participants. Let's assume we are 10 and five males and five females. What is the percentage of male in the class? Someone should answer.
50%.
How did you get your 50%? You did
5
what?
over 10.
5 over 10, thank you. So you did the total number of what? Boys, or total number of females, divided by total number of people that I have, which is 1 over 2, times 100%. Right? That was what you did. You divided something by another thing. So what am I going to do in this case? If I want to get from this revenue now, I've created the total revenue. If I want to get the revenue that came from Lekki revenue, look at what I will do. Okay, before I do for Lekki revenue, before I go on divide, let me quickly talk about. Oh, I'm coming. Let me quickly do something on Lekki first. Lekki revenue is equal to. Just bear with me, I'm coming. I will not explain this now. I'll come back to explain this. I think someone wants to join the class again. So let me quickly use the calculate function. This is the next one I'll be talking about. Calculate function. So expression revenue. So I have branch from the sales data equals Lekki. So
So
now,
you help us say it out because it's small for some of us.
no, don't worry. I'm not explaining this yet.
Okay.
I just want to explain something else. So now, what I did with this one is that I generated the total revenue that Lekki has. That what is the total money that was generated from Lekki? 9 million. Everything is what? Total revenue was what? 47 million, right? What is the total revenue that we brought from Lekki? 9 million out of what? 47 million. So now, how do I get the percentage that Lekki has made? So it's going to be this 9 million divided by this what? This particular one times what? 100 times 100% to get what? The percentage of what Lekki has made. So how am I going to do that? So I'll come to measure, a new measure, then I will say, let's call it percentage Lekki. It's not going to be equal to. I'll use something called the divide function. The divide function. The first thing is asking for is the numerator. Numerator. And what's going to be the numerator? It's going to be the amount Lekki has made. And I've already gotten that. Lekki. Look at it. Lekki revenue, comma. The denominator. That's the next thing. The what? The denominator. The denominator is going to be the total revenue that we calculated before. Total revenue. and that is all. You close it. Enter. Now, you might have been thinking I didn't put times 100%.
Sorry, I thought
But
is it comma or divide function, or is it divide? You
divide,
put
divide,
comma.
divide, divide. You put comma, it's comma. You put comma, it asks
Okay.
for the numerator and the denominator. Now, this
Okay.
divide function that I did, let me put it out. Let me put it on the card. Percentage Lekki. It's putting it out as what? 0.2. 0.2. 0.2 is not a percentage. This is still a fraction. So now how do I put this as a percentage? Click on this. While you finish writing the code, you have to click on this percentage to show that what I wrote, I want you to put it as what? A percentage. So by the time I click on this percentage, you see what it will do now? It has turned this to what? A percentage. Before it was showing 0.2. 0.2 is something as what? 20%. And 19.7 is approximately what? 20%. If I remove the decimal points, can you see? This is 0.2, which is what? 20%.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
In the percentage Lekki measure formula, could one just have written Lekki revenue slash total revenue? Would it work, or do you have to use this divide function?
It will work. I'm coming. Now look at what it's saying. I already said something. There is no one way to this. Let's do it again. Now I'll call it percentage leg. You see the same thing we want to do. It's equal. Instead of using the divide function, what it's saying is let's do Lekki revenue, this, then slash that is divided by total revenue. Total revenue. And I'll click on enter. Will it work? So now let me create a card. No, not this. Let me create another card and let me put that link on it. It's working. And if I convert that to percentage, it's working. So have I answered your question, sir?
Yes.
Yes. So that is one thing. Whatever I'm teaching you does not mean that is the only way.
So the DAX that we've learned is count rows, calculate, and divide, right?
I've not even said anything on calculate yet. We've done divide, we've done sum, we've done count rows, we've done count, we've done distinct count.
Yeah, but to get the number of branches, we
I use
used
distinct count.
16. Wait, was it number of branches now? Which one was the one we were talking about where we wanted to find out the number of people? Sorry, the
I use
number.
count rows.
Which one was that one now?
Number of
The
participants.
you know the
No,
the
not number,
the
but the one
revenue
where they
for
said
Lekki,
we're looking for Lekki
the
within.
revenue for Lekki now.
Was that
We
not
use
calculate
calculate.
we use?
Yes. This one is still showing percentage though. Forget about me writing like I just wanted to represent with something. I'm still going to I'm just going to explain. I've not explained calculate function. I'm just going to
Okay,
explain calculate now.
so
So now to calculate function, what am I doing with calculate function? Now, what I want to do with calculate function is that from this now, assume all these are not here. Let me do this. From these people, from this total revenue, I want to know the amount Lekki has made. From this revenue, I want to know the amount Ibadan has made from this one. So, like, I want to filter out something from this total. So that's because I'm using revenue as the total lump sum, that is the revenue. What if they want to know that how many orders came from Ibadan? I'm not using revenue in that case. If they're saying how many orders, what I'll be using in that case is the number of orders as the total thing, then I'll be bringing out Ibadan from that. So that is where our calculate function comes into play, where you want to filter out something. And what do I mean by that? Let's say I want to get the total revenue for Ibadan. I'll create a new measure called Ibadan. Ibadan equals, then there's a particular function called calculate function. Calculate function. What will we do? It will filter out something for you from a particular whole. So what's the whole in this case? I want to get the amount Ibadan has made from the total. So what is the total revenue that was made? This one, total revenue. So that will be the first thing I'll write. Total revenue. That's the first thing it's asking for. Then what is the filter? The filter I want is Ibadan. Where can I get Ibadan? I will get Ibadan from branch. So I have to tell you that go to branch under sales data, go to branch. Where that branch is equal to what? Ibadan. Where that branch is equal to Ibadan. You put that Ibadan in a double quotation and you close your bracket. What I'm saying is that from the total revenue, go to the branch column and go and help me get Ibadan. So where, how much is Ibadan getting from the total revenue? So that's how to get Ibadan. So if I want to get for Ibadan, if I want to get for Lekki, Ikoyi, Gbagada, I will do for all of them one by one, one by one, one by one. So there are cases where you want to show for every of those entities. You have to write a DAX to show for every of them. Because I want to get what? I want to get the amount Ibadan has made. 9 million too. But I'm very sure if we make the colors value to none, we'll be able to see the amount that Ibadan has made. You can decide to put a comma to differentiate it very well. Just come here, look at the comma here. Just click on it, comma. So it has added the comma. Ibadan has made 9.4 million. So now this is okay. Another thing I want to say now is that what I want to do next is that I want to know the total number of orders that came from
méjì
Ibadan.
mo ti pààrọ̀ mi ò mọ nǹkan tó ń ba bátìrì oúnjẹ pé fake battery.
I want to know the number of orders that came from Ibadan. That person should use their mind. I want to know the number of orders, not revenue now, the number of orders that came from Ibadan. So let me call that one Ibadan 2. Because I won't be able to use Ibadan again because I've used Ibadan here. And I can't have the same measure having the same name. So I'll say Ibadan 2. But in the Ibadan 2 now, I want to know the number of orders that came from Ibadan. That's what I want to get. So now, I will say it is equals to calculate.
Why not say Ibadan orders so that we can use it to differentiate it?
Okay, no problem. Anything you want to, I will do it for you, sir. Ibadan orders. So I'll say calculate. What is the expression? I'm not going to use total revenue. It's not like I want to get the total revenue. What I want is the total number of orders. And we've done that before. Number of orders. We've done that. Look at it here. Comma. So go to where the branch is what? Is equal to Ibadan. Close it. Close this. Enter. So now if I create a card for that and I drop Ibadan orders, out of 5,000 orders, the total number of orders, let me create total number of orders. Total number of orders, sorry. Total number of orders is what? 5,000. 998 came from Ibadan. So you must not mistake that for every time you want to use calculate, you must get the revenue. No. Getting a filter function is relative to your question, the question you want to answer. What am I getting from Ibadan? Am I getting the total number of orders from Ibadan? Or am I getting the total number of revenue from Ibadan? So that is it. I need you to note that. So Any question? No question. Ah, okay. In the absence of no question, I feel this is. I quickly want to show you the GitHub so you'll be able to upload your. Let's quickly. Let me delete this. So now let's come to in your browser or your system and press GitHub. GitHub.com. Now this is my own profile. Okay, this is something I was working on before. So now come to sign up. Let's sign up. So is so
So
you
what
don't
Sorry,
are you
what is
understand.
signing up to?
that? So, spelling of
GitHub.
that GitHub?
I will paste it on the group. GitHub.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I'm coming. I'm trying to paste it on the group so I won't forget. Okay. So now enter your mail. So let's continue. So you enter your mail here. I think they have a game that you have to finish before you be able to do that. Because I have this already. I don't want to. I need to go to tell me I have an account already. So, but it's so easy to sign in. It's just like you want to log into maybe Facebook or something. It's
Mohammed,
just, yeah.
all this part you did, I don't know how because I lost network. I've been trying to connect
Which part is that?
from the beginning of the I stopped at when we were still doing measures on
Ah,
calculate function.
ah. Maybe you just have to wait for the video because it's already up
Hmm.
to it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm sorry. I quickly want to show you how to share this. I don't know
And
why.
this is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, just go to github.com. That's what we have done. After going to github.com, we click on sign up. Look at this. It's writing email is invalid or already taken. You understand? Now, what will happen? If I've done this, if I've done this, it's going to show. It's so easy to open. It's straightforward. It's going to show you a place to put your password. You confirm your password and you log in. So now, let me sign in and show you what you will see when you sign in. Okay. Okay. They sent a verification link to my. So you just sign in with your sign. Make sure you sign in with a mail that is opened on your phone. So by the time this, because they will send the link. Yes. So this is it. So just look for anywhere you can see this new. You can see some people will sit under this particular point. Some people will see somewhere else. Some people will see somewhere else. New. So just click on new because it is a repository. Repository is like a folder. These are my repositories of all those things I've done, all those projects that I've done. So now you just click on new. Once you click on new, what is the name of the repository? Now, this project that we did, let's say it's the pizza project. I will say pizza. Anything you want, pizza. I will talk about this readme file later. You can add a readme file. This readme file is always for the description of what you have done. You understand? The description of what you have done. If you want, if you can decide to add a description of your project here too. Readme file is like a place where you add your documentation, something where people can read about your project, what you did inside about your project. A description, this one is optional. You can decide to add it and you can decide not to add it. Maybe you just want to add a quick description, like maybe something like how would I put it? A caption. You post something on your WhatsApp status now. You want to add a caption under the picture. So it's like something like that. So let's create repository. So you click on create repository. So it has created it. So now, what I will do now with that, I want to add, this is the readme file. I will talk about the readme file later. So I want to add a file inside this readme file. You add a file. You add a file inside this readme file. Because I've added this pizza, I've opened it, so you add the file. Upload file. So choose your files. So now, let's assume that Power BI thing that I've done. This is it here. That Power BI project. This is the Power BI file. This one, this sales demo is the Power BI file. I'll click on it. I'll click on it and I'll open it. So it's uploading it already. So it has uploaded, it has not finished. You click on commit changes. When it has brought it, you click on commit changes. So it's processing it. So it has brought it. Look at it.
Sorry, please, where did you click on the Power BI file from? The GitHub.
I went to my where you saved it on your local computer.
Yes.
So maybe you might, some people would have saved it on their documents file. So if you want to open it, maybe you want to add another file now. Choose file. Go to where you saved it on your local computer.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm fairly ignorant on these issues.
No problem.
So the project that I did now, the one I did, I can, if I save it, right, I
Yes.
can find it. I thought, is it under
Find it
Power
on your
BI?
local computer. It now depends on where you saved it to. I will show you how you can find your Power BI project. Don't worry, you saw that.
Okay, okay,
So
all right.
now, so this is it. So you choose the file, you go to where it is, you choose it, and you let me go back. So can you see this is it here? Let me click on it. This is the Power BI folder. Look at it here. So now, look at this link here. Have you seen this link? Have you seen this link? I've opened the Power BI. It's not showing anything because it's a Power BI file. GitHub cannot open the Power BI file. So what I want you to do is, you see this link that is up? This one here. Copy it, Control C. So come to where we submit our assignment. Write your name, and here you paste the link. That's all. That's what I want you to do. Just paste the link to that particular what thing that you have done. Do you understand now? Please, do you understand?
It's like Google Sheet too.
Just do small, brief one, short one. Let us see it again, I beg.
Okay, no problem. So now, I know you've gotten into this one.
Yes.
So look at it. I have some files here, but this is the main Power BI file. You see PBIX. This is the Power BI file you want to share with me. So once you click on that Power BI file, look at it here. You click on this link here, the one right here. So that second link will go to your mail. Oh, sorry. So this link here is what I need. So once you come here and you double click, sorry, just come here, click on it, Control C, copy it, go to where we have our sheet, write your name and paste it. That's all. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay.
So the same thing is applicable to sharing it if you want to share it on LinkedIn or wherever.
That's that link you share. So let me stop the recording.